Everyone get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, and welcome to a very, very, very rare sight indeed. In fact, I think this might be the first one ever. A scumbag game, an artillery replay. I don't play that much artillery, and the reason I'm playing this one, the Bishop, is because I'm grinding to the tier 6, the FV304. So I'm 2/3 of the way there now. As of recording this, I think I've got 20k XP and it's like 31k for the FV. And I wasn't planning on putting up any replays, but then this match happened, so yeah. Now we're top tier, it's Tundra. The Bishop it's got an okay gun. It's kind of analogous to the 105mm howitzer arty derps in terms of damage output. The main thing is it's well, it's quite a it's an odd-looking machine. It's got a good gun arc, but the you can see the range is very limited. So I'm pre-aiming where I think there might be some people popping up, and just a random shot because. Now, one of the problems with this is it's on the Valentine chassis. It's not especially fast. It's okay, but it's not fast. And if you get caught out on the front lines, because you need to be not far behind the front lines with this range, you can get screwed with your pants on relatively rapidly. So there's an M7. That's a higher priority target than an M2 medium. So I'll try a blind shot there, which misses. I don't know if I did any splash damage or not, but we'll see. M8A1, okay, tier 4 tank destroyer, open topped. I'm not the best artillery player. This match is something of an exception for me. I'm actually finding the Bishop okay, and I probably shouldn't say that I'm, you know, finding playing an artillery okay, but it isn't bad. It's the short range means you have to be close to the front lines than often you'd like, but on the other hand, there's a lot of artillery where you're having to think more about where you're going on the battlefield, and a lot of artillery just go and camp in one spot, and you know, that's that. But this one actually forces you to move around, actually forces you to think about what flank you're going to support. Oh, there we go, there's a Hetzer down with the blind shot. It makes you think, basically, and a lot of artillery don't especially. So there's KV-1, and they're actually pushing through there, that middle sections through the riverbed there, so I don't quite have a shot where the KV-1 was, so I'm going to fire and pull back because they're all going to pour over the middle and sit on our cap, and this is not good. This is not good. 2-4, and they're already pretty much at our cap, so I'm backing way the hell up. I don't want to get shot. That's a derp T40, I think. Even if not, it could kill me in 2 or 3 shells. Whoa, that was close. Okay, yeah, he saw me. Let's back up. Now we do have 1 or 2 units on the hill, but this is not looking so good. KV-1 and 3001H approaching their cap, and there's their enemy A22 up in the northwest corner. It's a very heavily armoured target. He's kind of a priority, but he's way outside my range. And I have targets way closer at home to deal with. Small amount of damage to that KV-1. And they're about to go in the cap. Okay, okay. So, for some reason, the M7, even though they can sort of guess where I am, is, yeah, he goes there, and I managed to get 1 shot in, backing up again slightly. Their artillery is down, which is good. And, see from the counter, there's 1 in the cap, so I'm going to try for this KV-1, he's just about entering the edge of my... no. Pretty close, but no. It is, for an artillery at tier 5, because it doesn't do much damage because it has such a short range, it is actually, for an artillery, it feels relatively accurate. There we go, blind shot, splash damage, reset the arty counter, and there's an empty medium who's just driven in, so we'll try and nail him. He's sitting still. This is not looking good. This is 3 in the cap. This is basically, this is, if I don't reset, this is it, we've had it. And I nail him, so that's a couple more seconds. With my current setup, it's an 11 point something reload, so I knew I had time for 1 more. And there we go, M7. Ooh, we all came awfully close to losing that. Okay, that's a good thing that I nailed him. That KV-1 over on the hill. Oh boy, we're going to see more of him. So I'm blind shot. Oh, Very luckily, that M7's still there. Very luckily for me. So I can get another one in him, maybe. No, okay. 3001H kills him. M2 moves just as I fire, so that's a wasted shell. This thing gets a decent amount of ammo, but it's... you know, you can afford to waste a few shots, but you don't want to waste that many. So that KV1 up in the hill. Okay, now look at this score. Now, 13-10, okay? Look at the minimap. 82 is isolated and alone up in A2. The KV1 is isolated and alone in F9. So what I want now is, what I need, I can get this KV1. I need the 3001H or the Panzer 2G just to spot. They don't have to go after him, they just have to spot. Meanwhile, the M7 and the KV1 keep the 82 bottled up, and that's fine. Right? This is really simple, right? I mean, this is... What can possibly go wrong? well, if you thought the answer to that question was that it's all going to be fine and nothing could possibly go wrong, clearly you haven't played in random battles before. So there's that KV1 who was lit up by... And the VK, I should mention, is not like he's a one-shot kill. It's not like he's got hardly any health left. He's just kind of sitting there not doing anything. I don't know where that shell went, by the way. Wow. That was the VK. Now the VK has got the derp gun himself. He's got the 10.5, and that's going to be just another blind shot. I'm going to be kind of mystified by something later on as a result of that. So there we go. I'm trying to get them to spot. I am, you know, I'm doing my best, because between the 82 and that KV1 on the hill, because they're not going after him, he's actually in a good sniper position right now. The 82 lights up the people on the northern half of the map, and the KV1 can actually shoot them from the hill. So we need to dislodge this guy urgently. So there we go. One more shell and I've got him. 101 health. Remember that. If I get one good hit, I can have him. So backing... oh, no. Okay, let's try there. And no, that's a miss. May have done some splash damage. We don't know. The Panzer II, and now look at that. He's got 550 something out of 6, whatever it is, health. 600 and something health. I really need one of them to go and spot, and it's not rocket science. It really isn't. I know this guy understands English, because later on he starts talking in the chat in English. He at least understands some basic English. And he's moving towards the hill, so okay, that's good. But actually, he's really... no, actually no, he stopped. He's moved a little bit and he stopped. Okay. Okay, I can't help the M7 and the other KV1, our KV1 against the 82. That's way outside of range. And if I move to do that and the KV1 suddenly pops into... You know, the KV1 is my priority at this moment. I want to nail this guy. He's in the best position. Once the KV1 is out of the picture, then we can take the 82 really easily. I can move up and it's fine. So I'm just looking to see, but no, at the moment he's way out of range. I'm just seeing what the situation is, basically. I know he's out of range. I'm seeing how much health people have got left. That M7 is now really low health. The KV1, our KV1, is in danger of being sniped from behind from the hill. The VK still hasn't moved, and I'm saying, please, can somebody go and spot this KV1? It's really very simple. There's a Panzer 2G, nice and nippy. He just needs to do a little peekaboo spot. No, okay. He doesn't need to sit and, you know, trade fire or anything. But no, he's going west for some reason. The VK still hasn't moved from where he, you know, he moved like 50 meters and then stopped. And I'm saying, I can't waste any more shells with blind fire. I need someone to actually spot for me. And I'm explaining the situation as I see it, that if we take out the KV1, then that makes taking out the 82 really easy. Because if everyone rushes the 82 and the KV1 can fire at them from the hill, then we could lose this potentially. And we've wasted now. This VK is now finally moving, but he's going to do the same thing again. He's going to move a bit and then he's going to stop. And this guy wastes so much time. So much time. I'm not picking on this player particularly. It's just when somebody's explaining to you something like that in the chat and it doesn't sound like total garbage, and There's a chance that they know what they're talking about. And I don't know, maybe I'm just... I don't think it takes a genius to see that that's what we needed to do to take out that KV-1. And like I said, we actually saw a glimpse of it. The VK3001H has got the derp gun. Now if he loads a couple of HE shells, that's maybe 2 shots. He can afford to take 2 shots from the KV-1. So even if I can't nail that KV-1 myself, you know, I'm at this point I've got no confidence in the VK3001H. I've just got no confidence in him at all. I'm so, you know, I'm going, go up the hill, go up the hill. But no, look at that. He's just, I don't know. But he's got the derp gun, so that's 2 HE shells, maybe 3. And he can take those shots from the KV-1. Surely this is still... We've wasted so much time, and the situation has remained static. Basically, the M7 is the only one that's been really moving around and trying to do stuff and take shots at the 82. We've just lost our KV-1 because so much time wasted. There's a chance this could run down to a draw because these guys are just so utterly afraid to move. And I'm doing my best to help here in artillery. You know, I've done nearly 1k damage. I've done more than 1k damage because I nailed that Hetzer blind. And at this point I think, okay, no, the 82 is actually now finally in range. That VK can surely handle it himself. If the KV-1 comes down the hill at him, surely he can do that. So, full health 82. There we go, 121 damage. If I can nail this guy, that is... and there we see the KV-1 is actually a bit further down the hill. But I decide I'm going to stick with 82, because surely the VK can manage it. Surely. And this M7's really low health. The Panzer 2G, if he gets left on his own, that's bad news. So I'm just about to limit my range here. So we kept moving forward. Got tracked, but just at the wrong time. Oh, okay. The VK3001H died. And what's more, he died without doing any damage whatsoever. So I can only conclude he was shooting AP shells with the derp gun. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. And again, limit the range. And nah, it was just a wasted shell. The shell travel speeds on this is pretty low. But there we go. The M7 over there is doing his level best. He's used his mobility. He's correctly read. Now I will say he had a good game. He's the only other person in the team that had a good game apart from me. He correctly, you know, used his mobility, got round behind the 82, managed to set the 82 on fire, and that's the 82 down. So it's now just the KV-1. So there we go, blind shot. I kind of knew where he was going to be, and I kind of want the M7 to come back and actually spot for me. It's risky. He's a one-shot kill for the KV-1, but I know I've hurt that KV-1. Down to my last 3 shells now, but the question is how much have I hurt the KV-1? It might just have got in his tracks. I might be kind of screwed here. I really do want the M7 to come spot for me, but he's decided to go on the cap instead, and this is not the call I would have made. Maybe it's not the wrong call, but oh, there he is, 58 health. Boom, there we go. Good lord, finally. Oh, good lord, okay, my back hurts after that, it really does. I mean, I don't normally go on about, oh my god, I had to carry that team, but in this case I really did have to carry that team. I cajoled and begged and tried my best to persuade that VK, and do I feel bad for not helping him out? Well, I assumed he was at least competent enough to handle a low health KV-1, but apparently not. So in retrospect, maybe I should have stayed on his position, but if I had, maybe the M7 would have died to the 82, so who can say? But I came also very close in that to getting a fade-ins medal, because that was after that. You know, if I'd fired 2 shells earlier, I could have had a fade-ins medal on top of my defender, because we came very close to losing this by cap, and it was only the enemy team's incompetence, I can only say. The M7s, basically, even though they knew they were being bombarded in the cap, they sat still. And that's what saved this game, really. It was the enemy team's incompetence, and despite our team's, you know, attempting to be almost as incompetent, not quite enough. If we'd lost this, I think I would have had to go and lie down in a corner. But as it was, the M7, like I said, he had a pretty good game. 1500 damage, 5 kills. 1k base XP, nearly 1100 base XP. I don't know what his, maybe a sniper medal or something. He got an award of some kind. I did nearly 1900 damage, 3 kills, defender medal, and that defender medal's kind of crucial. That was 137 base defense points. We would have been really screwed if I hadn't managed to blind fire those guys in the cap. The rest of the team was just... Well, you see, the enemy team's damage count was not terribly good. Our team's damage count was as bad. This was... I don't even know what XVM would have showed for this one. It would probably have been a sea of red, and this is why I don't use XVM, because I would have been so disheartened at the beginning of the match that I probably wouldn't have kept trying as long as I did. But as it was, 7 of our team did nothing at all, 0 damage. That VK3001H, 2 kills but 111 damage, and I still don't know how he died versus that KV1. 2 HE shells would have done the trick. 1 HE shell if he was lucky. But I don't know. I just don't know. But as it was, that carry. Oh, so yeah, basically once I've gone through this, and I'm not that far off the FV304 now, the Burt. It's basically the same gun, but a heck of a lot more mobility, and I don't know, it promises to be fun. The reason I'm grinding the Burt, well, it's all Circon's fault. We'll blame Circon, but he wants to, for the next Dream Team, he's got an idea that we'll do a couple of all Burt teams, so that could be hilarious. So, yeah, I will have my Burt definitely by that point, but in the meantime, the Bishop is not a terrible artillery. I'm actually... yeah, it's the usual artillery thing of some of the teams are just... You can do only so much to help them. This was one of the rare circumstances where, even though the team was... It was frankly bad, that I was actually able to do enough, because it was an open enough map, because the enemy team were bad enough, that I was actually able to carry the day through by, and do the most damage by a margin, even though I didn't get the best score, because, I'm still artillery. But, yeah. So, you won't see many artillery games, and artillery games you do see in the future are likely to be FV304 games. This may well be the first and last Bishop game you ever see. Who knows? There might occasionally be guest artillery replays, but it's unlikely. I give preference to other tanks, because artillery games not that interesting to watch on the whole, or so I feel. So if you enjoyed this video, you can hit the like button, you can leave a comment below, you can go check out my Facebook page, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.